somewhere on Instagram from years ago, there's just a picture of me and him, and he's holding a trophy, and I'm like this, and I have two bloodstained nipples. It's brother to brother, brothers, two brothers hanging and talking about stuff. How you doing, man?
Hi, brother.
Welcome.
Brother, it's good to be here.
It's good to be here as well. Good to be here with you.
That's how it's a blessing and an honor.
It's like a church saying.
That's how we start. And
good to be here. And good to be here.
You know, we didn't grow up Catholic.
Also, no, I don't know all the sayings.
Everything I've learned from about Catholicism and the rituals, not everything. Most of it's just been from TV and movies.
Yeah, I've been to a lot of Catholic masses.
I've been to just our cousin's wedding years and years ago. It was the only experience I had.
They're pretty great because they give you a printout of exactly what's going to happen. So you know when you're getting out. They're an hour. You're in, you're out.
Right.
It's the most, yeah. They sing some songs, but it's very monotone. They're very sad.
It's like,
and Christ be with you always.
It's a depressing joy.
Yeah, but I like it.
I've never been happier in the Lord.
Yeah, I'm so blessed with Jesus. Yeah. Sounds horrible.
None of it sounds good.
Doesn't sound good.
No. You know what part I forced myself to... I never enjoyed it, even when I was the one teaching the message.
Yeah, you're right. You were a pastor there for a bit.
I never liked the greet one another.
Oh, my least favorite part.
Yeah.
Of church is when they ask you to shake hands with people around you. But we were lucky because there was a lot of us, so we would just shake hands with each other.
My own children did that. They would just go, pleased to meet you, pleased to meet you.
I just remember testimonials.
Well, at a Pentecostal church, they get wild. Like
the preacher would be preaching, and then all of a sudden the dude would stand up and just talk about the worst things in life he's ever done. I molested my children, went to prison for 19 years. But the Lord has delivered me.
Brother.
And then what would happen is he would go, and then another Christian guy would be like, well, I'm not going to be one up by that guy. And then he would stand up, just start talking. He's like, I just want to let you guys know I filed my taxes on time this year. It'd be the most mundane thing. The biggest news is we had an earthquake.
Yeah.
Was it yesterday or the day before?
2 days ago. We've had aftershocks the last couple of days.
Yeah, we had a 5.2 earthquake. I didn't feel it.
No. That's just years of drinking messed your equilibrium off.
Yeah. I got in the car to drive down to the store to get a beer.
Okay, right.
Between me leaving the driveway and driving 3 blocks, and the only reason I'm driving, I normally would walk, but it's a scary 3 blocks.
It's the safest time for kids to be out on the streets, but adults better be careful.
But by the time right when I get out of the car, I get the alert.
Oh, I turned those off on my phone.
And I was like, oh, and I got under the awning or whatever, and then I went in, and the guys were like, did you see that? Did you feel that? And everything's shaking in the liquor store, and I was like, no, I missed it. Because I think what happened was I was so pumped to be getting a beer that my body absorbed the shock. So excited. I was just thrilled.
Just a nice evening beer.
And then I drive home and
did you just buy one beer?
No, I've cut out liquor.
Okay.
No spirits.
Okay.
So I'm only drinking beer these days.
Okay.
So I only allow myself to have 2 beers in the house at a time.
All right.
So I usually buy them in 2s.
Okay. 6 times a day.
Now the max I've had in a day is 4.
So 2 trips.
Dose trips.
Yeah. Are you drinking light beer or are you drinking?
Usually if I'm going the first
figure
round, I'm going 8-pointers,
Okay.
8.5s.
So it's not a calorie thing.
No,
It's
I'm
just
trying to
an
cut back
alcohol
on
thing.
alcohol. See, since I moved home.
Because your spirits are lower calories.
Yes, no, I have to. So since I moved home, I sold my company.
Right.
I've had a lot of free time.
Yeah.
And I haven't needed to work, although I need to work. I'm getting there where I need to work. It's been very easy for me to just have cocktails.
That's true.
And so that got a little out of hand.
Right.
Nothing crazy. I don't go out. I'm a homebody. I'm just sitting here drinking some whiskey,
Yeah.
hanging out.
Right. Like,
You know.
I think one difference between you and I is exactly what's happening right now because it's 9:30 and I'm drinking black coffee.
Well, this is because
You're drinking a beer.
But I have anxiety issues, and I am so nervous actually to do anything, like any performative thing,
Yeah.
that it just takes the edge
But
off.
I like that we're brothers and we're doing this where you live to make it as easy.
No, that's not true. It's just better here.
It is better.
Because there's just you got some action. You got a baby that's making noise and running around, and it's just like it's just easier here.
Ambiance.
You have good ambiance.
I have a lot. It's a lot of ambiance.
I find it interesting
Got
that,
the
like-
dogs and stuff too.
So I'm really working on cutting back the drinking. Actually,
How's it going?
Pretty good.
Do you feel better?
Yes, I mean, I haven't had any hangovers or nothing like that, which has been good. Yeah, I usually will have about 3 or 4 beers and go to bed 9 o'clock, wake up at 6.
Yeah. Like
feel-
you're a
feeling
1950s
good.
man.
Oh yeah, I would definitely. I'm Don draping it, dude.
Yeah.
I'm Don draping it. But I found it interesting that I'm starting to like taper off the booze, and like you didn't drink until you were 40 something.
Yeah, 40s.
And then now, I'm waiting to watch your like ratchet up that you don't realize is happening. It's totally up. You're gonna peak. Although you're probably doing it in the more fun years.
This is definitely the time where I can relax. I don't drink very often actually.
Do you have a drink every day?
No.
Not a drink every day.
Not a drink every day.
What do you do? How do you
A lot
pass
of
the time?
coffee. Well, I work
Jobs.
jobs.
Yeah.
That block of hours is they'll fire you kind of thing. Well,
you
they
don't
won't
have
fire
to-
you. They
like, I would
might be
never-
like, hey, please don't drink
if-
on the job. But
If I was I never would drinking before work or during work.
yeah.
Unless we had like a work meeting and like it was a lunch and we, whatever. Like
Right.
it was a sales thing and you have
Okay.
a couple cocktails. But no, never. Usually it was just like counting the clock down to get to 5:30. Get to happy hour.
I get done at my day at 3:30. It's a little early. I've never been a go to the bar after work kind of guy. So like most of the time when I drink, it's at home.
Yeah. See, I was always like I needed that stop off before getting into the reality of my miserable life.
Okay. Yeah.
I love bars. I love happy hour time at bars. I've definitely spent a lot of time in bars in my life. I like just getting into weird conversations with people, strangers you don't know, the way that bars function, the different types of, there's the people that are out there on a date, there's sad people at the bar, there's just whatever. There's just a myriad of different people. And it literally is my favorite thing. I'll tell you this much. When you have an infinite amount of time on your hands because you have resources or just the ability to have time on your hands, most people do absolutely nothing. Speaking from experience.
Right. They don't get prison fit.
So the fact that Bruce Wayne gets like super prison fit is fighting crime when he doesn't need to.
Yeah, but
he's more impressive than somebody that's climbing their way up that's got to struggle to make it work.
I mean, he's driven for revenge.
Yeah,
that's what drives him.
I don't have anything need revenge against. Maybe I need to spite.
That's the
somebody.
problem. You need to have somebody spite you.
I need to be spite.
Yeah, you need to be
spited.
spited. Yeah.
I'm working on the no negative self-talk. You fucking idiot.
It's going well, I could tell.
Yeah. No, I'm doing pretty good. I'm so disappointed in you. I read this. I was reading this. Somebody did a review of the Deadpool Wolverine, and he's like, "It was pretty good. I felt like the fight scene when he fought all the other Deadpools just wasn't realistic." It's like when people watch.
It was the most realistic.
It's like when Guardians of the Galaxy, the newest one came out, and they have all the animal cruelty stuff,
right.
and PETA was like all up in arms. And everybody's like, I can't believe that. And I was like, they're cartoons.
Right. They're not real animals.
They're not real.
Also, they free them. Like they rescue them.
It ends up becoming a really beautiful like statement of like be kind to creatures.
PETA
right?
kills animals.
What?
PETA?
Yeah.
Yeah, they kill way more animals than
PETA.
PETA.
Explain that. I didn't know they killed animals.
Yeah, they euthanize animals all the time.
Why?
I don't have an
Where are you getting this info?
It's Google.
Well, that's got to be accurate.
It's highly
I killed
accurate.
a squirrel yesterday.
Here?
Yeah, I ran over it.
And was it on the property? Because if it is, that's yours.
Oh, I couldn't. No,
can
we
mount
were.
that.
I took mom and dad on a drive
Take squirrel heads.
out to the golf course and
Oh, well, by golf courses. Yeah, squirrels die by golf courses.
just to demolish it. I felt bad for about 15 seconds.
How did you only hit one?
Yeah, just the one.
I think I told you this, that I was driving home from the golf course at dusk, and there was just hundreds and hundreds of squirrels running across the road, and I was in my truck, and I didn't see them, and then I felt them.
Oh my God.
And then I noticed, and it was, I mean, it had to be, I don't know, 1,000 squirrels.
How many did you take out?
Maybe 80.
That's a lot, dude.
Yeah, there's just blood on the highway. Behind the guy behind me.
Must have just been,
what
my
the
God.
hell happened?
Oh my God.
Just scarred roads, and you're like a truck driver in snow, but in this case, it was just squirrel
That's pretty
guts.
funny.
It was
That's terrifying.
Oh, it was the grossest.
What do you
thing,
think
man.
made him make a bolt for it?
I don't know. It was weird. They were leaving. This golf course is right by a prison, so they were
escaping.
They were going toward the prison. Huh. They were running from the orchard toward the prison. I don't know. Maybe that's just where they live at night. Is they have holes and stuff out in the yard.
Or maybe there's like a crazy old prisoner that like feeds him every day at dusk.
What, he just does it to see how many get killed on the road.
This we can watch.
Just watches them. There we go. He just needs the itch just scratched a little.
Yeah. He takes deep breaths. That's funny.
He's 18 months in state prison.
This reminds me, I haven't thought about this in a while. I lived in Brooklyn off the Gowanus Canal, which is a Superfund site, and it was for a long time, maybe still was considered the most polluted stretch of water in the United States.
Why was it so polluted?
Well, this is a very old canal, and there was all the factories were lining in, and they used to dump everything right off the back of the factory right into the water.
Okay.
This goes back hundreds of years. I mean, literally, they call it the Lavender Lake because it has a purple oil.
Oh, really?
But they've started cleaning it up, and the development really kind of blew up around there. And then so there is this area you can go, and you could just get free canoes, and you can canoe the lake or the river. So one year, my friend Tom is like, "Hey, tomorrow we're gonna go do a canoe race on the canal."
Oh, had you ever canoed up till this point?
Never canoed.
Starting with a race.
And I said, "Okay, cool." He goes, "I think it's gonna be like a Red Bull type thing, like those Red Bull planes. People get dressed up,
right?"
So he's like, "I got us hazmat suits, so we're gonna wear the hazmat suits. It's gonna be fun."
Yeah.
I said, "What time's the race?" He goes, "It's at 11." I said, "Cool." He goes, "Meet me at the bar." He owned a bar. He goes, "Meet me at the bar at 8."
Okay.
So I meet him at the bar at 8. We get hammered. I mean, destroyed. We stumble. It's like maybe 2 blocks away. Right. We check in, and we're like, "Yeah, where's the beers?" And they're like, "Well, we don't have any beers." And Tom's like, "Hold on." He runs back to his bar. He brings 6 beers.
Okay.
So we sign up, and we're waiting, and everybody's gathering. It's racing, and they give us numbers.
So it's an actual race.
No. It turns out it's not a Red Bull event.
Okay.
It is a serious canoe event, and we are the only ones in costumes. You were taking this very seriously. Yeah. So we go to get in the boat, and we're holding 6 beers, 3 each. And the guy's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" We're like, "What?" He goes, "You guys can't have alcohol on the boat." And we're like, "Why not?" He goes, "Man, this is a race." He's like, "That guy is like races canoes in college." And we're like, "What?" Dude, so we get in.
Sweaty hazmat suit.
Oh, it's miserably hot. we get in. We're lining up to race.
Did you have the whole the head thing?
Yeah,
on
the head thing is on.
So,
Full
just
body
looked like
suit.
you were protesting.
Dude, so we get in the boat and we're smashed. And so, of course, we just start talking shit to everybody.
Are you in the same boat?
Yeah, we're sharing a boat. We got to ride together. You
Okay.
know?
So it's two-man teams.
I'm in the back. He's in the front.
You got two-man teams.
Two-man team.
You look like protesters.
We're talking shit to these people, man, just saying the worst stuff. And they start the race, and the guy next to us, they pull out ahead, and he looks back, and he flicks the dirtiest water in the world right into my face. I swallow it. We got last by so much that they thought we were lost. Like they sent a boat out to find us. It was miserable. It was one of the worst experiences of my life.
This is a good idea, Tom.
Yeah, good idea at the time. It was great.
Did you finish your beers on the road? Like while you were driving?
No, they didn't let them on the boat.
They didn't let you.
So we said, hey, man, hold these for us.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice of them.
We were the only ones drinking.
I think you're in costume.
By the way, I wasn't 22 when this happened. I was 40. It wasn't like a, college age shenanigans. It's like I was a grown up. I'd already been divorced twice.
That's probably why you're like, yeah, let's do it.
Let's go.
That's
Oh, I missed that canal.
That's so gross. So they're trying to clean it up as gentrification happened.
Basically.
Yeah, they're like, well, now that these properties are worth $3 million, $5 million, we probably should.
Well, it was zoned you couldn't build for a long time. You weren't allowed to
because it was so.
You could only do industrial.
Oh, that makes sense.
And so slowly, then they said you could make hotels. So what they would do is they would build a hotel, and they really wouldn't use it, and just to wait for the zoning to change, and all of a sudden now you have apartments.
Oh, is that really what was happening?
Yeah. And then
so people just pre-built like just
and
the
then
shell of a hotel.
Now all of a sudden there's just massive condos everywhere.
Oh, okay, so they just converted the other.
They kind of broke through the wall. I think once one person gets passed through, and then
now that makes sense. That's a wild story, man. No, I've never heard that. That's crazy.
Yeah. Canoeing's not easy.
No. Yeah, it's awesome that you tried it the first time in a hazmat suit drunk.
Oh, man. And I knew it was bad at the beginning because I didn't know, like, the physics of how to, steer the boat left to right. So when I was like, hey, wait a second. If I want to make it go that way, what am I doing?
Was Tom, is he super competitive?
No. Tom's like, he's one of my best friends, an amazing guy. No, not competitive. He's like a... North NoCal chill rocker dude, man. He's probably the most enjoyable chill person to be around.
Did you finish the race?
Yeah, I mean, we got back.
So it was like an out and back kind of thing?
Out and back, yeah.
Okay. So we're like, when you're on your way out, people were passing you the other direction?
Oh, everybody.
Okay. Yeah. I imagine it was all just dirty looks.
Well, I think that they were nice to us on the way back because you see two drunkards in hazmat suits, and just the comedy wore off because you get exhausted, and we were just look like we wanted to die and kill ourselves.
Tom out there, stroke.
Stroke.
How long were you paddling?
Oh, probably 6 hours.
You're kidding.
No. It was literally I think we probably were out there an hour.
That's still so long to be paddling, man.
Yeah, but everybody else did it in about 20.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. We got lost.
Where? Is it?
It was a dead straight.
It's a canal, right?
Yeah, but there's a couple little it shoots in this way, and then there's just a wall.
Okay.
So we would take a turn and be like, come on.
You kept dead ending?
Yeah, we would dead end.
The straight canal?
Yeah. And then I remember we were like, oh, next year we'll hide the beers here.
We're doing this
again.
Oh,
those are the days. Your early 40s are really a good time to let loose.
It's the best time. It's the you don't have the energy, but you usually have the money.
Yeah, that's really what happened. Is all of a sudden you're not broke, and I was single. It's like, oh, let's have some fun.
I've never ran anything in a hazmat. That's crazy. But I remember doing my first 5K.
Right.
And we had this friend, Justin. And I ran into him. He's like, hey, man, you should do these summer series runs. And I was like, what's that? And he said, we go out to Calm, the California Living Museum.
Right, here in Bakersfield.
And they run a 3-mile track. So it's down a hill, along the river in the dirt, and then kind of close to the golf course. And then you come like by the lake, and then you come back up the hill to Calm. Okay, so it's just a big circle. So he's like, you should do it. And I'm like, all right, what do you do? And he goes, you just go out there, you'll start your time, and then that'll be your base time. And then after that, it's all based on handicap. So the idea was that everybody finishes at the same time. So it's like a sprint finish. Well, he's like 100 pounds overweight at the time. So I was like, well, I mean, if he's out there doing it, then I can certainly go out there and do it. And I remember I talked to you on the phone, and you're like, hey, what you're going to want to do is maybe run for 5 minutes, but then walk for 1.
Yeah.
Run for 5, walk for 1 the whole way. That way you never wear yourself completely out. You can recover. And I'm like, that's a great plan. So I go out there, but the first mile is downhill. And I feel awesome.
Right.
So I hit 5 minutes. I check my watch, and I'm like, I feel good.
I'm soaring.
So I kept going. And I ran for the first 12 minutes.
Right. Yeah, that was not smart.
No. And then I walked for a minute, started trying to run, ran for 20 seconds, and then walked for 7 minutes. I remember getting passed by the largest people I had ever seen.
Right. Yeah, that's demoralizing.
And then not being able to run them down. I was so tired. So I did finish the 5K. It took me 35 minutes to get through the 3 miles. But my calves cramped up at the end. I couldn't walk. He goes, how was it? And I was like, it was awesome. It's actually why, though, I started getting in shape. So I started running a lot that summer because I wanted to make sure not to get beat by a guy 100 pounds.
In this heat, that's insane.
It wasn't as hot as it was this year, but it was very hot. Well, there was days where they were like, hey, it's too hot. Well, we ran at night. It was like 6:30 at night is when the thing would start.
Right.
So
it starts getting cooler.
It starts getting cooler, or it was
hilarious.
First thing in the morning kind of things. I remember one time I ran a race, and you start going uphill, and I had the worst asthma attack I'd ever had as an adult. Just horrible, full on, can't breathe. I'm hitting the inhaler. I probably used my inhaler 10 times in the first mile. I could not catch my breath. It was so bad. And it was also
high.
Well, I was hoping to get high. It was winter, and I think what happened was I couldn't get my body warmed up in the cold temperature. And so when I remember it was the lowest point of my athletic career, really the lowest point.
And that's saying something.
And it was pretty
you've
low.
Had a lot of lows.
Yeah, it's all low.
It's been mostly lows.
I was waiting for a peak, but no, all valley.
Yeah. It's rarely does an athlete only experience
Just valley.
the valley. Yeah, the bottom.
Usually it's like, like you're going to get through the valley and then you'll see a peak. I could always see a peak, but I never got to experience it. I remember getting to the top of the hill and maybe a 70-year-old woman.
Oh, yeah,
Just
that's rough.
light jogs by me. And then I stay with her. So I'm like drafting off of this old woman. I kind of catch my breath, but I realize, I don't have it in me to pass her. And then I turned to go on the 5K course, and she went on the 10K course.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, she's 70. She passed me. She's running twice the distance as me. And then I remember getting to the finish line, and there's a sprint to the finish, and there's like a 11-year-old girl. But by this point, I got my legs back under me, and I dusted that little girl, dusted her to the finish line. But the funny part to me was they posted pictures of the event, and there's a picture of me out of shape with beanie on, glasses, passing the little girl.
You're like looking over,
I
like,
was
what?
Yeah.
What? That's great, dude.
Yeah, I crushed it.
I did a turkey trot in New Jersey.
What's a turkey trot?
It's a 5K that happens
on Thanksgiving. Freezing cold.
And, you know, I smoke and I don't run. And, you know, I'm like, all right, yeah, this should be fun.
You're like, I'm a competitive canoeer.
Well, my friend my friend's a runner. He's a trail runner. Very, very good.
So he's okay.
So he's like, do it. You got to do it. I was like, oh, yeah, that's fun. Let's go. He's like, look, afterwards, everybody goes to the bar. We drink beers. It's a super good time. I was like, sounds good. I was like, look, worst case scenario, I'll walk the thing, you know.
Right.
So it's very similar to your story. I get going. I'm like, I feel pretty good. And then I'm like, oh, no. This is going to be bad. And I was like, I got to push it. And I was like, okay, I'm going. I'm pushing it. So then I just flat out run to finish this thing.
Okay.
About 200 meters left, I gas out and I have to stop. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to throw up. And then I look down at my shirt, and I had 2 blood spots on my where my nipples are.
You chafed?
I chafed.
On a 5K?
On a 5K.
Oh, my God.
Because I never run.
Yeah.
Anyway, so then after my friend wins.
Oh, nice.
So, you know.
Did you finish?
I walked the rest.
Oh, okay.
With bloody nipples.
He came back and got me.
So we finish, but then we have to go to the bar, and I'm like, well, I got bloody nipples, dude. He's like, it'll be fine. But like somewhere on Instagram from years ago, there's just a picture of me and him. And he's holding a trophy, and I'm like this, and I have 2 bloodstained nipples. Yeah.
No. Yeah. Well, brother, I love you.
Love you too, man. This was fun.
Nice. It's good seeing you. Did you finish your beer?
No, but I'll finish it.